Good morning, everybody. Right. This is going to be a car-focused vlog post because I've hit a muntjac. For those of you that don't know, that's basically a small deer. Ugh. I mean, wildlife. What is wrong with these things? They just they've got a death wish. So I'm going to go and drop my car at a body shop shortly and see what they've got to say. It's not done too much damage. Let's go have a look at it. First, I'm going to need a coffee though. Now last night when I pulled in, I sort of shoved the plastic nose cone back on. It was sort of hanging forwards, and I'm just going to secure it with some gaffer tape because I'm going to take the car off to a body shop and get an estimate pretty soon. So I mean, it doesn't look too bad, you know. Certainly I've had worse experiences with deer-like creatures, but yeah, here's the thing. That's obviously not on there securely at the moment. And oh look, there's some deer fluff down there, and that's cracked, and that's got a crack. So yeah, something tells me there's going to be at least some cost involved on this. Right, okay, I'm going to get this taped up because I need to get off to that body shop nice and quick, and then I'm picking up Jasper. There we go. To be honest, doesn't really need any further fixing than that. I mean, that's just about perfect, isn't it? Parking sensors still work. Okay, well, hopefully it'll get me to the body shop without any problem. You really would think that animals had got a bit more sort of a self-preserving instinct than that, really. I mean, just why? And it was on another dual carriageway. Just walking slowly, just chilling out in the dark, in the middle of a dual carriageway. Hello, Millie. As you're now back, that must mean that it's time for me to take my car to the body shop again. Well, I've taped it back on now. You see here where that's cracked, that bit of plastic there is the same bit of plastic. It might actually, now that I look at it, it might be that this bit here isn't knackered. If it's just this plastic trim, then, because basically if they have to replace this whole thing here, it's all just, yeah, it's the whole bumper. Plus you have to take everything off and then put everything back on. Yeah, I know, but I need, that's why I need to talk to them, and I can't just drop the car off and run. Right, let's get going. Let's get cracking. Just dropping the car off now, and hopefully it'll get sorted in short order. Hopefully. Gaffer tape seems to have worked quite well. Amazing what you can fix with gaffer tape. I think I've got everything else of the car that I need to. It's just, these things are just faff and also money, aren't they? Faff and money. Bye bye, beautiful Tesla. Bye bye. Good luck. See you again soon. Hey, Jazzy. Right, and on home we go. Get some lunch on the way back, I think, because I'm starving. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to make myself feel better about the car situation with a McDonald's. I don't know why McDonald's makes me feel better about things, but it does.
Bad boy.
Yeah, I know. All right, everyone. Cool. So, what else was I going to talk about? Well, let's just talk briefly about how the car's been going, because I've done 132,000 miles in it now, and it's really good. A 90% charge is 206 miles. Yeah, I mean, that hasn't really changed much in the last 4 or 5 years, and I've had the car 6.5 years now, so it is getting on a little bit, this car. The battery's held up really, really well, gotta say. The only thing that I have noticed in terms of the battery and the age is more than the range, really. ability for it to charge quickly at superchargers is noticeably reduced. And I know that this is reduced mainly through software to help protect the car and to stop it from bursting into flames, which is, handy. And the other thing that's changed considerably is that if I plant my foot to the floor, then it does sort of have limited power. After sort of half a second of full acceleration, a little dotted line will appear and I'll get sort of only 95% of the amount of acceleration that I should be. But by and large, that side of things is still very much the same. The charging speed is quite noticeable. And the other thing that seems to be different is it does seem like the battery needs to operate in a sort of tighter temperature range now than it used to. So certainly when I've had a rental Tesla that's brand new, it's got a brand new battery obviously, I find that on those sort of cold mornings, even if I haven't preheated the battery, there's still a little bit of regen and probably not a limit on how much power I use. Whereas in my car, if the battery's stone cold, then there's basically no regen whatsoever, and there's often sort of reduced power as well. That's probably the biggest thing that's different. The discs and pads have held up really well, although they were replaced about 3 months ago. Basically, they just corroded, through not getting used that much, and the fact they're 6.5 years old and it doesn't get kept in a garage. These things do add up from a wear and tear point of view. But yeah, I think in short, as a second-hand car prospect for somebody, a Model S is a good idea to have a look at, definitely. There is still a question mark about suspension for me, in that I've not had any suspension problems, and touch wood I won't, but that is something that all cars have, and suspensions do wear out, so there may be some bills around that to some extent down the line. And that's one of the things I think about a Model S, and one of the things that should maybe weigh on people's minds at least a little bit when considering one second-hand, and that is that the replacement part costs are high and the labour costs are high. So if you do need things done to it, and eventually all cars need something doing to them, it may well be quite a bit more expensive than if you had a second-hand Nissan Leaf or something like that, where perhaps maybe the parts are a little bit on the cheaper side. So yeah, just something to bear in mind if you're in the market for a second-hand Model S. Generally speaking though, for myself, I have been extremely pleased with my decision to own a Tesla Model S long term, and I'm going to continue to own it for as long as that makes sense for me, which hopefully will be a long time. I'd love to get it up to, at least 250,000 miles, like 250,000 miles. I think that would be a pretty awesome milestone. That will take another 5 or 6 years, so I don't really know how realistic that is. It might not be realistic, it depends. It's all about the battery age. Once it needs a new battery, that'll be a big consideration as to whether that's actually worth doing. Might be worth doing. I don't know, I haven't really thought about it yet. Yeah, those costs of parts and labour, it's probably going to be kind of come back to bite me a little bit with this Monk Jack. I mean, I'm hoping that I don't have to go through insurance on it, because, I had the Deer that I hit a couple of years ago, and I have had a spot of bad luck in terms of things hitting my car and animals in the road when they shouldn't be there and stuff like that. Ugh. Animals. There's one less of those around here and now, that's for sure. Oh dear. It's amazing how much damage a small animal can do to the front of a car. I think in the end I only hit it at about 40 miles an hour because I was braking, but I just, I didn't have enough time to do anything else. And it's always tricky when you're in that sort of emergency situation, because I knew that I could drive straight over the top of this thing, and it was small enough that there would be no risk to me or anyone else on the road. Or I could do a full-blown emergency stop and sort of possibly skid along the road and have some other kind of problem. I don't know. It's tricky. Anyway, we're just gonna have to get through this and be patient. The guy said it would take 2 to 3 weeks possibly, because apparently it's quite difficult to get parts in at the moment because of, border issues. Thanks, UK, for doing that to yourselves. That was really helpful. Yeah, so generally speaking, the car's been brilliant, and I've loved it, and I still love it, and I already miss it. but hopefully I'll have it back in pretty short order. Yeah, and I should really get into making videos more. I think I'm not gonna quite go sort of daily at the moment, but I'm definitely gonna increase the cadence considerably. I'm aiming for 5 days a week. That's my plan. See how we go with that. All right, well, I hope you found today's video interesting and fun. I'm gonna go and edit it so that it can go up in a sensible amount of time. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode of my vlog. Bye.